Alrighty, everyone. It looks like we're going to be playing an early stream today. And it would look like two people have already been disconnected. That is definitely very interesting. Interesting, start to the day. Regardless, I'm going to begin putting down my Buck M3 anti-air units. In this game, I'm going to be focusing more over on the left side there. And we can see that I brought some Grad artillery units here. I'm going to be testing these out today. I'm not sure how they're going to be working, but I've heard they're good. This is definitely going to be an interesting game. And I'm going to be sending my drones forward so they can spot forward for us. And I could also deploy snipers into this tower here, which I think I'm going to be doing. This looked like a pretty decent strategy. I'm going to be occupying a building, start up a defense. And air dumping things has always worked generally well for me in the past. Either gone really well or really bad. And I'm not seeing too many things that could make it go really bad. I am seeing some combat-capable helicopters up there, so I am going to want to be careful. This is looking pretty nice. However, I also see that there is nothing over on the right side. The right side has been completely abandoned, so it looks like I actually am going to have to take on the right side here. This is definitely not an optimal start here. And I can see that my drones were unfortunately killed. I may have to activate the S-300 early. And it looks like comparative dropping did in fact go bad for me. Highly unfortunate. And that is going to be a lot of infantry killed. We do, however, have our Grad moving up. Then it looks like... Where did one of my S-300s go? I've lost sight of it here. The Grads are moving up, which is good enough. Ah, and there we go. Clustered in with allied units. And what I can see is there are some enemy units over there. I'm gonna have the Grads begin a bombardment. And I've heard that they're very capable units. So we'll have to see about that. Very nice. Actually, I'm gonna have the Buck M3 hold there, same as the S-300. Then I'm gonna have this other S-300 here, which is currently out of munitions. And I'm probably gonna be sending it a VD Vitra. Vede. I think that's how they say it. So the S-300 and Buck M3 engaged. The Grad is now going to take some more shots at those buildings. Not sure if they're still occupied right now, but it can happen. And I'm probably going to bring some more supply trucks over there as well. I would like to keep the pressure up and see if we can move forward. But then this right side has been totally abandoned as well, so I'm going to be bringing in just anything to defend it. I mean, I feel like a Verba and a Metis might be good. As well as like some Snappery and some Sarmat too. It would look like the allied anti-air batteries have assisted up there. And the Grads are going to need resupplying, as well as our own S-300 there. Or not. It would still be good to bring the Buck M3 resupplies then. And the Grads are kind of just there. The Su-57s are currently acting very oppressive. I mean, I'm not liking this at all. And they did attempt to take out our Grads. Luckily, we were able to move them, hopefully into the forest as well. The forest will provide some form of stealth bonus, I think. We can have the Mi-26 land, or S-300 on the right side resupplied. And now we do in fact have the force to defend this zone. So I'm going to be moving the allied air defenses into those larger buildings there. And I'm probably going to be able to keep the frontline infantry in the buildings, so we'll have a good line of sight down that road. I'm going to move the Sarmat too, those two, anti-tank units, forward a bit, and then I'll probably cluster them here with my allies in the corners. I want to know why our ally pinged over there though, so I'm afraid there might be something moving in there. Then we have our Grads moving in and our VDV truck. And head back to base. Definitely a difficult start to the game, but it is nice that we're doing a mirror match so we don't have to deal with ballistic missiles. Because those just suck. And then we'll have our Nona mortars move in. They're like short-range artillery weapons. And that's the S-300 can reactivate itself now that it's in supply. And those Sarmat 2s are going to be having a good time. And it would unfortunately look like our anti-air was taken out. So that's unfortunate. Those Su-57s are becoming very impressive. I'm not liking that at all. Any anti-air currently deployed appears to be at threat of being destroyed by those. And it would also look like the Grads are very supply on them. I was not aware of that. So we are going to be bringing in some cargo. And we're going to have the Grads launch another bombardment on the enemy infantry here. And you also see those supplies which I would like to have taken out. And we're going to move them into supply, as well as our Buck M3. And Estrella might also be good, because Estrella can target helicopters which may flank along the ocean. I can't tell if the Grads are currently launching or not. Yeah, that would be good. Here they had to target first. And you do have an allied anti-air battery over there on the left, as well as some allies there, which apparently are at low HP, could use a resupply. And I'm going to have the forepost move forward there. It would unfortunately appear that I'm currently out of anti-air in this region. So Buck M3 is moving forward, so is Estrella. And I'll have another S-200 battery. That T-160 would be a very nice kill. There we go. We did have an ally in there, it's like Sosna. And we have our Nona battery moving forward. Our Grads can move into supply, and so can our Buck M3. And unfortunately, it would look like the drones cannot change altitude. but we can see where the enemy has their artillery. We can also see that there are a number of Ka-52s over there, which may or may not be coming after our S-300. I'm not sure of that. And unfortunately, our S-300 does only hold 2 missiles. And so if some of them are missed to our countermeasure, then that is going to very be wrong. And with the Grad resupplying nicely, our anti-air battery, the Buck and S-300 is moving forward. And then I really want the Sosnas to work here. I'm going to send in another recon drone, so we can hopefully locate the enemy. And yeah, our drones over on this side were destroyed, unfortunately. But we can't have supplies put down. And an S-300. And that is unfortunate as well. I'm not liking that Su-57. I am going to be increasing the amount of anti-air in this zone significantly. And it would appear that Estrella did manage to take a shot at the Su-57, but did not bring it down. I almost want to bring in some infantry, because I know that we are fighting against infantry, and the best way to kill infantry is with more infantry. But I'm also not sure that that is the right solution at the time.
Пехотинцы ждут ваших приказов. Специалисты по противовоздушной обороне готовы. Минометный расчет.
What I'm going to do now, I'm going to have the Nonas begin a shortish bombardment on the Barbaros, while the Strela is moving back. But unfortunately, it appears that the forepost has been destroyed. While Strela is forced to go back and resupply, though, the Grads can now move into the firing position and launch it down. S-300 apparently also requires resupply. And then the Nonas are going to be moved away. And I am dreading the return of the Su-57. And it looks like we have a T-15 Barbaros, which is practically a tank. Not quite. So I'm going to bring in one of the T-14 ones. And this will just be good over here to pop enemy armor as a whole. We can now see that our anti-air battery is moving in and moving forward. While the Grads are now giving short bombardment. And the Su-57 is still roaming free. I don't really know how many they have, though, is the problem. I haven't really seen the effective shoot down of them, though. The Grads are helping out nicely. Maybe that would be maybe it's not. I'm not sure. But the Buck M3s can now be activated. Same for the S-300, which can now begin to move into the capture zone. And it would appear that unfortunately the capture zone is being lost. This would equalize the game though, as we have captured the enemy zone on the other side, so this isn't all bad. We are still winning. Would look like the border battery was destroyed, but it's not all bad, as we do have the anti-air to hopefully take down that aircraft. And then yeah, that was good. Now I can once again begin to resupply my anti-air units. And then the Grads can now begin to bombard this capture zone with a long duration bombardment, which will hopefully level almost the entire zone. I'm not sure on that, but I do want the P-14 Armada to begin to move forward. And unfortunately we can see that there is in fact an anti-air battery right about here. One here is for our tank to be able to destroy the enemy infantry, which may or may not currently be inhabiting this zone. We can unfortunately see that the Grads there were destroyed. Luckily, our anti-air is still functional, and that's it. We can begin to replace them. Then yeah, all of the bulk MPs is moving. I'm quite disappointed with how the P-14 Armada has sustained a lot of damage. I'm going to move that unit back. And I will now have to source a source. We can see that there are most likely still infantry in this zone. Now that the infantry is dead, we can begin back with this one. Unless our vehicle is destroyed like it was. An Mi-28N may be helpful here, but it seems like infantry arriving in the K-17 boomerangs would be more of it. These infantry are heavy infantry, which come with armor, and will be brawling against the enemy forces in close quarters. And we can also bring forward another reconnaissance drone to hopefully be able to help out here. But it is going to fall on the Buck M3s to shoot down the enemy aircraft which we can currently see moving toward us. And as we can see once again, that SU-57 was devastating to our anti-aircraft, and would appear to have some sort of anti-radar missiles, but I cannot currently be sure. We can also see two hostile enemy tanks, which the Mi-28N is going to be very good against.
Летим туда.
Continuing with moving it forward and giving it a straight line of fire against the tanks.
Все выше и выше. Координаты принял.
And we can see that they are currently being attacked by the rockets from the Mi-28N, which is a very powerful unit. On the right side, though, we are currently holding out perfectly wonderful, no competition whatsoever. So it looks like now our only job is to capture the left side and push forward across the entire thing. Shouldn't be too difficult, although I am aware that there may or may not be any forces in the forest here, which could be scouted by one of those units.
Новый набор. Переключение.
I'm going to have the 2K-17s unload in the area, while the Buck M3 returns to its position in the forest,
ПВО, слушай.
and this other Buck M3 is sent back for more ammunition and to reload. We can, however, bring over another S-300.
Двигаюсь к
Our
точке.
S-300 on this side of the field would appear to need resupply.
Приказ понял. Едем.
However, at the current time, I feel comfortable enough moving it into the area, as I don't really think there's any competition in this area.
Давай прокатимся. Тактический грузовик готов к перевозке. Разгружай картоху. Принял. Выдвигаюсь. Противовоздушная оборона. Докладываю. Противовоздушная оборона. Слушаю. Сложные задачи. Это про нас. Есть кто дома? Синяя изолента на
We can now begin to move the infantry forward, with the K-17s following. And the K-17s will provide support with their anti-vehicle missile launchers and autocannons. They also have smoke grenades. But those most likely will not be relevant here, and unfortunately would appear that the enemy is going to take the other side. So I'm going to be bringing in the Grads again, and hopefully lay down artillery fire. Probably not push forward on this side.
ПВО, докладываю. Развернуть радар.
And I'm going to be bringing in hopefully some more anti-aircraft whenever I have enough points over on this side. While anti-tank units are moved forward into a position where they can better support. And the SC-100 will also be engaged.
Сближаемся. Штурмуем позицию. Машина готова. Даю огня. Тяжелый транспорт здесь. Противовоздушная оборона. На приеме. Машина разведки здесь. Заводи мотор. Инженерия слушает. Машин разведки докладывает. Транспорт заказывали? Транспорт здесь. Двигаюсь к точке. Ганспа, слушаю. Принял. Выдвигаюсь. Быстрее! ПВО, слушай. Пути. ПВО на связи. Противовоздушная оборона здесь. Принял. Быстро на дорогу. Быстро на дорогу. Пехота ждет указаний. Педаль в пол. Приказ понял. Едем. Противовоздушная оборона. Докладываю. ПВО ждет цели. Выдвигаемся.
So it would appear that my teammate has this airdrop onto the enemy zone. As well, this was a very aggressive push. I'm now going to move forward. Hopefully support in that zone. And if we capture this zone right now, we are going to instantly win the game, as we will have all zones.
Пора собирать вещи. Что нужно сделать? Так,
So this is going to be a very, very nice move. And the enemy is most likely going to do everything they can to stop us. But I don't think it's going to be enough.
Сами не летаем и другим не даем. Приказ понял, выезжаем. Армада готова работать. Погнали. Тревог, цель.
Unfortunately, it would look like the zone is about to be struck by cruise missiles. But this can hopefully be avoided. And it looked like that was the Tu-160 targeting the tank again. And there was minor damage to the Allied forces. But that was also a win. Very nice. It only took about... not long, actually. And what was that, like 28 minutes? Excellent game. So we're now going to go straight into a new lobby. And I can't see if it's currently bugging out or not. Alright, there we go. We're going to be playing as the Americans this time. Although it would appear that was a private game, so we will now join another, playing as Russia. It would also be possible for us to create our own lobby. We will try to join, continuing, as it is generally very difficult to create a lobby. We're going to create our own lobby. We're going to give it a name that will attract people, like Anime Land Japan. We're going to be playing as America. because I want to use ballistic missiles. And now we are going to be waiting for a little while. This game did fill up very quickly last time. We are almost ready to launch. Not quite. And these maps, this name, does fill up games very quickly. That is a hint there. And we are now ready to launch. Not quite. We are now ready to launch again. There we go. Nice and fast. I'll take Ignalina Power Plant, which looks rather interesting. I'm not too into the night maps. And there's also Baltisk over there. Baltisk is an interesting map. It may have been the one that was featured in the campaign as well, or the demo mission as well. I don't think it was a campaign, it was only one mission. This looks like a new map. I'm not sure if I played on this one before. Interesting map. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pay my air tax over here. We never have too many air defenses. And this is rather far back. I'm actually going to move this up a bit. Nice positions there. Also, never played on this one. Don't know the strategies. So it looks like 2 HIMARS are going to be our go-to as well. Although they are a little far up, I think this might work.
Roger. Moving out. Moving.
It looks like that my teammate is going into those areas over there. Pretty aggressive move, not bad. I think I'll help out there. It's like an area that I can feasibly take.
Air defense, standing by.
And I can see that there are, in fact, enemy aircraft over there. And it looks like they are going to be attempting to pair drop in here, but I'm not currently at range, unfortunately.
Osprey at your command.
And it does look like my team is pretty good over on the right, so I'm going to take center position there,
Anti-aircraft, standing by.
as the Patriots are brought into position.
Moving to next waypoint. Pedal to the metal. Good copy. Next
Just
waypoint
adjusting the
received.
positions there a little. And the HIMARS
Air defense ready for action.
are going to be very capable,
Moving out.
as always.
MLRS ready to fire.
And the Osprey, it looks like, was shot at, but is going to manage to evacuate safely. And it's going to stay low as well. Then we have an anti-tank team, which I'm going to move in there, and an anti-air team, which is also going to remain in there. And once the Osprey is safely out of the combat zone, it can pull up on the launcher. And then it's going to be very nice. Accelerating quickly.
Landscape designers at your command. Radar turned on. Looking for contacts.
And then it's Patriot Pack 2 here, which is going to be sniping
Radar
that
turned on.
AV-18
Looking for
Nighthawk.
airplanes.
It did unfortunately bomb our allies there, but it looks like they're mostly fine.
Anti-aircraft here.
And our
At your
Patriots
command.
are quite fine there, doing very nicely. And an allied PIVADS looks like an LAV-80 starts lighting up against parachuting US planes which are currently arriving on the ground.
Fast landing assistance. What can I do for you?
But I think I am actually going to bring some supplies in here. I'm not clear on
Roger.
anything.
We're Oscar Mike.
Or even if I do want to do that.
We
Nope,
stopped right
no,
there.
that was an accident.
Good
Not sure
copy.
how many, but
Next
supplies are
report
cheap, so I'll
received.
just go with the maximum amount.
Roger. We're Oscar Mike.
The HIMARS now is in fact ready. And I'm not currently sure where enemy positions are. We'll simply begin to bombard their enemy base at the other end of the map.
The higher they fly, the further they fall. Rocket artillery at your order, sir.
Then I can move those forward and bring in supplies. And those HIMARS are going to definitely be one of the more capable units here.
Rocket artillery ready, sir.
And we can see that an enemy facility was destroyed. And I think I'm actually going to be bringing in some sniper teams in here as well. Actually, I'm going to be taking an anti-air team and a sniper team. Because I feel like that will be a pretty good combination.
Osprey, standing by.
And the Patriots are going to be helping defend our HIMARS from incoming enemy fire.
Osprey is
Enemy
mission
ballistic
ready.
missiles and enemy aircraft would think that the HIMARS is a priority target.
Anti-aircraft here.
So we're going to be establishing a battery there and having the Patriots defend.
Rocket artillery standing by. I got my ears on. Go ahead.
We now have the LAVs retreat, and the HIMARS are going to begin bombarding.
Venom awaiting mission. Direct fire on my mark. Sniper team standing by. Get your asses in that building. Mission's over. We're out.
Back to the farm.
And I'm going to bring in a Harrier bomber. We can see that there is actually an enemy Patriot battery there, which is still dangerous, so I am going to bring the Prowler in.
Harrier here. Send traffic.
And then the Harrier is going to circle around. That will be behind the Prowler, be able to drop bombs in safety.
Airstrike is
So we're just going to bomb that forest, and I believe there are enemy soldiers there.
Osprey ready.
And Osprey is now going to unload its supplies, while our other supply vehicle heads back.
Osprey tilt rotor aircraft here. Leaving the AO.
leaping heap here. Back to Texaco.
It would appear that our allied aircraft managed to eliminate most enemy batteries,
Carrier, mission ready.
but unfortunately not all of them, and our Prowler was shot at.
At your command, we unleash hell, sir. Roger. Direct fire engagement.
And unfortunately, it would also appear that my US team has come under attack. Pilot air crews are worth 60 points if I can redeliver them back to the base, so that was unfortunate, but it was not a big deal. I'm going to bring in 2 more tow teams here, as well as bringing more supplies to the artillery.
MLRS reporting in. Rocket artillery at your command, sir. Providing direct fire.
We can also see that the
Awaiting
PRSM batteries have been very nice.
Then I'm at your command.
I'm going to have these tow teams delivered in here so that they can defend these batteries against any enemy vehicles.
Mission's over.
Vehicles are still a large threat to the allied forces here.
AT specialist at your disposal.
Having an anti-vehicle battery is a good idea.
You won't find a faster lawnmower.
And I think I may bring in some tanks.
Viper.
Unfortunately, it would look like our Viper over here has been destroyed.
MLRS ready. Send fire mission. Air defense at your disposal, sir.
And the HIMARS is still
We unleash
functional,
hell, sir.
so we can continue the bombardment.
Target marked. Direct fire.
And the HIMARS is a very powerful unit that is only available to America and is one of the American's core units, as well as the Patriot. I'm going to be moving some more Patriot forward, then I'm going to be bringing those tanks up here, push into the enemy's area, and hopefully win the game. I'm also going to bring an LAV ATM there,
Pedal to the
because
metal.
the LAV ATM is capable of destroying enemy vehicles and acting as a turret, because while it's not heavily armored, when concealed in forest, it can unleash some large anti-tank missiles with good penetration capabilities. And then unfortunately, each firing of the HIMARS battery we have here is going to take up approximately 3,000 supplies or so. But that isn't too much when considering how effective the battery has been.
Rocket artillery
That
at
is each
your
firing of 4 supplies, or 4 missiles. I mean. And then we can also see that there is an enemy anti-air position there, and so it does look like a good option to bombard that position. Although it also appears that we're not currently in range, which is unfortunate. So what we're going to do is we're going to move forward until we are in range,
Waypoint.
and then we are going to bombard that position. It would be unwise to use an aircraft to destroy it, even though we do have anti-radar aircraft. because the HIMARS is simply a safer and often cheaper alternative since you're not losing the entire aircraft.
MLRS ready to fire.
The Osprey is in the air.
Rocket artillery standing by.
Unfortunately, it will look like I've lost sight of the enemy anti-air battery.
Engaging targets with direct fire.
I'll just send a Prowler.
Rocket artillery ready, sir. Relocating to the next emplacement.
Anti-armor, standing by. AT specialist here. Go ahead.
Rocket artillery at your command, sir. Air defense here. Air defense here. We're combat ready. Harrier ready.
Prowler is going to be able to launch its missiles, which almost certainly obtained a kill, but it is also going to be coming under fire from the enemy anti-air batteries. And it would also unfortunately look like the Allied LAV-APM was destroyed. I am going to be moving the Patriots into supply zones so that they can begin to activate.
Bring us there in 10
I'm
seconds.
moving Allied tanks forward.
Radar turned on. Heavy cav is on the field.
And the HIMARS is going to return to its supply zone where it can now begin its, or continue its bombardment. And it does have a lot of supplies stored back here, so it would be a shame to waste that. I'm also going to be grabbing another tank.
M1 Abrams ready for action.
These tanks are going to move up to a safer zone where they can hopefully begin to bombard enemy vehicles.
Heavy cav ready to rumble. MLRS reporting in. Direct fire engagement.
HIMARS is going to provide fire support, but it does launch high explosive rounds, which means that it is mostly incapable of damaging armored vehicles, although I do believe they are top attack as well. And I'm not sure why, but I actually have not noticed
Target area. Coming around now.
very many enemy anti-air units.
Solid copy. Air support mission inbound. M1 Abrams here.
The anti-air they do have is rather effective, but I haven't noticed very many. And I also haven't noticed any ballistic missiles whatsoever,
Fast landing assistance.
at least on their part.
MLRS ready to fire. Providing direct fire.
And the Harrier is practically on a suicide mission here, but did manage to carry out its mission effectively, although unfortunately is unable to get back. And yeah, it looks like it was shot. And it would look like we are practically clear to push up forward. Although we do not yet have the second armored vehicle that is supposed to eventually be in the group.
Driving to coordinates. Gunner identified. Next target. Moving to shooting position.
Although each tank is very effective, and these are the strongest American tanks in the game. And the second strongest of all tanks, the P-14 Armada, is still a stronger tank.
Rocket artillery ready, sir.
And I'm not sure if the current HIMARS battery can begin shooting at targets that far away. Looks like it can begin bombarding the enemy area.
Landscape designers at your command.
But it would also look like, unfortunately, if the enemy was able to destroy our tanks. And I am going to want to bring another LAV ATM up there. Hopefully act as a tank buster and more like a turret, not moving, but shooting anything that comes close. And it would also do have some nice mortars.
We unleash hell, sir.
No drones to scout though, as we are not playing in Russia, but a Prowler is potentially going to come useful in use, and it can't do down any anti-air that threatens it. I mean, we still have our Patriot up there, and our Patriot is keeping the skies clear of enemies.
Rocket artillery at your disposal, sir. Target marked. Direct fire.
And the HIMARS is going to begin a bombardment. We're moving to a forward firing position, which I think I'm going to place up here. As this does appear to be far enough away from combat that the aircraft, or the HIMARS would be safe, but
Harrier, armed and ready.
close enough that it will still be in range. And it would look like the Prowler is being shot at by everything. Yeah, it was shot down. You can see though that there are two helicopters over there, so those are valid targets for any units you may want to bring in.
Gas driver. Hit it. MLRS ready. Send fire mission.
We can now bring the HIMARS into its new position up there.
Tilt rotor aircraft here.
As the V-22 Osprey sends and drops its cargo. And the tank is now in a safe position.
Anti-aircraft here. At your
And what this
command.
means is that those Patriots are no longer really needing to remain back here for their supplies, and can thus move forward,
Already there.
although they can always return for those supplies. However, as it's less than 10 points of supplies, I don't really consider it a big deal.
Roger. We're on the move.
Maintaining cruise speed.
Heavy armor is on the field. Lab ready for combat.
And we can see that there is another Viper there. I actually saw two previously.
Air defense here. We're combat ready. Air defense here. Moving there now.
And unfortunately, we can see that the Allied Patriot battery was destroyed. And the helicopters also have a clear line of sight to our HIMARS, which is not okay.
Inbound.
Highly unfortunate. Our HIMARS battery has been blown up,
Anti-aircraft here. At your command.
so we're going to keep the Patriots in the forest, while bringing in a Harrier to deal with the enemy helicopters. can bring another Harrier around, take care of the Viper, the other one, the last remaining one.
New heading set.
Then we can now move this Harrier 2 plus forward. And we can move this Patriot battery forward again to hold out on the left side. It would appear that our other Patriot battery up here was destroyed as well.
Already there.
So unfortunately, we do not currently have any anti-air.
Harrier standing by. Proceeding as flagged.
And it looks like both anti-aircraft missiles were taken out though.
Flying there.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease the altitude
Flying the
and
coordinates.
move back. We are going to be countermeasuring every missile coming at us, but unfortunately it would look like there's some sort of anti-vehicle or anti-air SAM launcher in the forest there. So I am going to be moving a tank forward to hopefully take that out. And unfortunately we do not currently have any fire support, HIMARS or Patriots here, so there's not very much that we can see our tank engagement constantly moving. And then if that tracking system is going to be killing any rockets shot at the trophy, which is currently mounted on the tank, then we're moving backward and out of the enemy artillery fire. And we can also notice an enemy tow team. The enemy tow team is very dangerous. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be moving back and not messing with the enemy tow team because it is way too dangerous. As they are an anti-tank unit. It would also unfortunately appear that our allied Patriot battery has been destroyed. So I am going to be moving in an LAV-80.
Moving out. Pedal to the metal, driver. Back out, driver.
Would unfortunately appear that our ally has been struck with a ballistic missile,
Viper here.
and that may or may not have been
New
dead.
flight plan received.
I'm not sure if anything was there or not.
Roger Wilco. Flight plan confirmed. Heavy armor is ready to rumble.
We can begin bringing our tank into repair and bringing up a second tank to the battle line,
Heavy cab, ready to roll.
and hopefully we will manage to keep this one alive slightly.
Heavy cab is on the field.
It is also rather unfortunate that we cannot pair drop tanks,
Anti-armor at your command, sir.
as that would allow them to move to the front line faster, and I would very much like to take over that area.
AH-1 standing
And
by.
apparently the Viper is under anti-air fire, and so I am going to move it back a bit. And it is going to stay low, but this also means that it cannot fly over obstacles, and it is going to leave the combat zone immediately. And it would look like we are almost ready to bring in more HIMARS. And I am going to be focusing more on this left side here.
Abrams here. We're combat ready.
And we can see that there is an M280 sub-trophy here. And then our LAV-ATM was able to destroy an enemy tank.
Moving in
We
next
are
flight
going
plan.
to bring the M280 trophy up ahead, so that it may also do so,
Radar activated.
as the LAV-ATM is damaged and has reduced mobility. And we can see that the LAV-80 is ready up here, and can move into the forest, and will most likely be able to direct fire at that Super Cobra. Then we are also going to move a HIMARS forward. And we could actually keep this HIMARS back in our allied zone, but we do not currently have supplies there. So I am going to move it forward. And we're going to bring forward a second HIMARS.
Artillery moving out.
And we have re-established, or are re-establishing, our artillery battery that was so highly effective. And we can see that there is in fact a transport there. We can also see that we are almost capturing this allied zone. So I am going to have our tanks move up so that we can hopefully finish this, as we have almost won.
ATGM carrier standing by.
And we can move our LAV ATM into the zone as well.
M1 Abrams warmed up and ready to go. What are you waiting for?
Now you do have to tell the tank to manually angle itself toward the enemy tank.
Pop and smoke.
We nearly have to retreat from this fight as this is a 2v1.
Air defense ready for action.
But the LAV, not the ADM, LAV ATM should be able to help us coming up here.
Heavy armor in combat.
And unfortunately, it would appear that our SEP V3 trophy does not currently have another smoke. So once its smoke is expired, it will be vulnerable, which is why it has to take out the Super Kill Grenade. A very close fight.
Driver, move out. Already
We're
there.
going to move the ATM forward and then put the SEP V3 trophy back into supply.
Rocket
And I'm not sure if these are going to be able to recharge their abilities.
Cap ready to rumble.
And then yeah, we have the HIMARS. We can see the ballistic missiles, as well as our allies, MG-7, A1, and LRS.
Rocket artillery at your command, sir. Air defense standing by.
We can see about the hostile enemy ballistic missiles, which are being fired toward us, and how our allied battery is doing very well, defending us from those.
Moving as ordered. M1 Abrams ready for action.
Then we're going to move forward our tank, that will hopefully now be able to protect us. And unfortunately, it would appear that our Patriot is destroyed. We are going to have to move the tank back. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have to fire the HIMARS here at these hostile enemies, which are now moving into our capture zone. And there is a swarm. This is a very, very intense situation. I'm not liking this.
Heavy armor is on the field.
They also destroyed one of our tanks. I'm not sure if the Viper can help us out here, but I do hope the HIMARS is good enough here. You can see that HIMARS was in fact very effective.
At your command, we unleash hell, sir.
But unfortunately, it would seem that we have no Patriot battery on this side of the map. They are currently capturing our zone here,
Moving out.
and unfortunately, there is nothing I can do.
Standing by. Headed there now.
But also, however, appear that we've come under attack by hostile rockets, so we're going to move over to this other field, slightly next to our current habitation,
Heavy
and we're going to establish our battery there instead. And that was a dumbfire battery, so a Patriot would not have protected us in that situation as well.
RGB.
And then now we can head back to base and resupply our HIMARS battery. It would also be good to consider moving back in this situation, because the entire battery in field. As we currently do not have any reconnaissance.
MLRS ready to fire.
Area copies.
So we're going to move our Prowler in, and then we're going to have our HIMARS as soon as they're done resupplied. head on back out, and then that's going to be about it, I think. Other than moving into a more defensive position in the forest, it looks like we have been sent back here, but we do still have 12 minutes left to take over a zone. And it will be important that we do manage to do that.
Jump jet ready.
Then our Prowler has just deployed all of its missiles, which means that the enemy does have decent anti-air.
Engaging targets with direct fire.
We're going to commence bombardment and hopefully begin moving back here. And bringing an LAV-AD in is also going to be as important as bringing in a Patriot.
Roger.
Patriot is going to be brought in a bit back.
Rocket artillery at your disposal, sir. Heavy cap.
Then we can move the Sub-BD trophy in to see what's going on up there and hopefully spot.
Rocket artillery standing by.
And then the HIMARS are going to be moving. I almost want to keep them here, and we can see that the enemy's not being aggressive because our tank is spotting for us. So we are going to be bringing in yet another HIMARS. I can get another vehicle to Osprey to resupply our current HIMARS. While our Patriot is there resupplying. And I cannot currently tell if any enemies are currently moving forward. There may still be infantry, if they are stealthy. So we are not currently going to do anything.
Troop transport reporting in.
It would appear that I did just accidentally call in a sniper. Good. Well, that is not necessarily a bad thing. It would appear, however, that my teammates did realize that it was a massive failure and are now coming into help.
Fast landing assistance. What can I do for you?
Drop the cargo.
I would also feel that taking us out of missiles and intercepting enemy ballistic missiles. So there's not going to be a supply. The HIMARS is going to be getting another bombardment. This bombardment of this zone here, though, is absolutely brutal.
Air defense at your
So I'm pretty
disposal, sir.
confident that the enemy is not going to survive this.
The higher they fly, the further they fall. Heavy armor is on the field. Driver, move forward. Rocket artillery standing by.
We can see that there is enemy tank division moving, and they are most likely coming after our HIMARS battery. So we are going to be in a bombardment over this location.
On my mark.
It would be an allied tank pressing them to hopefully gain us some effect.
The
And then the
Osprey
V-22 Osprey is going to go under more supplies. It would also be good to bring in another Patriot, though.
Moving out.
Then we can also bring in a Patriot for our allies. And it would appear that our allied firing division was destroyed most of the time,
Moving out.
which did have a clear line of sight. Unfortunate.
Personal carrier ready.
And I'm going to unload the scout snipers. Just to get that loaded. Yeah.
Backwards. What are you waiting for? Drive.
It would unfortunately look like our snipers were killed.
Fast landing assistance. What can I do for you?
And unfortunately right now, we don't currently have very many points. We are in a little bit of a not great area here. We can, however, bring in some mechanized riflemen and a Venom, which is a smaller and cheaper transport.
Recon vehicle standing by.
And then we also do have the Humvee there, which is damaged, but it does still have a machine gun, which can provide fire support against this enemy. And we can see that there is an enemy rocket bombardment taking place.
Anti-aircraft here.
We can also move forward our LAV ADs and bring in another tow team. Although we actually didn't free up our tow teams from this other sector, as it would appear they've only launched one rocket so far. And then we can see that there is an enemy team here that is currently attacking our units in this sector, and that's something I don't really feel comfortable doing.
What can I do for you?
So we are only going to be able to use this station.
Venom is mission ready.
We do, however, still have tow teams back here
Digger team
that
here.
can be moved forward.
Get in that building! Set up a base of fire! Anti-tank team standing by. Get in there!
And I perhaps should have done this sooner, but we are, it would look like, currently tied with the enemy team, which is apparently making a comeback, which is not something I want to see right now.
Copy! We take that building!
Then yeah, it would look like they're doing a lot on the ground.
Roger. Moving out. Air defense here. Weapon combat. Send your orders.
We can see that our LAV-80 has engaged a tank, which is not really something I want, but it did happen. And while it is now damaged, it is not destroyed, it is still fully functional, which is a very good thing. However, unfortunately, it would have been another one of our Patriots has been destroyed. And so we can bring in another one of those.
Copy. Relocating. Troop transport. Standing by. Moving there now.
And as we move in our tow team here, very daring.
Dismount.
What I want to do is move him into that building. Then hopefully the Humvee
Anti-tank unit here, sir.
Humvee was destroyed. But the tow team is very capable of being able to destroy targets. Or not.
Anti-aircraft here. At your command.
And then I don't want the enemy to be able to pull this one right out from under us, but it does look like that's what's happening. There is still that unclaimed sector over there. And we can potentially large attack into their rear sector as well. But the center sector needs to be kept safe. And that means bringing forward a Patriot battery, which is currently moving a little bit too close to the enemy units for my comfort.
Roger. Moving out.
Not great there. Not great.
Friendly fighting vehicle. At your orders.
Perhaps going to have the infantry now dismount the fighting vehicles early so they can walk in
Secure.
as the Bradleys are moving forward. Then I'm not sure what's preventing the enemy from capturing that area. I am, however, going to bring in some LAVs with mortars. I'm not sure if these will be able to help against the other team, but maybe they'll be able to provide some fire support. All I know is that they do not have the proper capabilities to penetrate heavy armor. I am seeing a lot of heavy armor.
Snipers ready. Snipers standing by.
So then here, for example, we do have a scout team and a tow team moving forward. And we can see that our tow team there has been very active. I am wanting them to get into cover so that they can resupply and take another attack. In the meantime, mechanized riflemen are moving forward.
Good copy. Next waypoint received.
Get in that building.
And this hopefully will not be too bad, but currently there is 40-something seconds left. And so what I'm going to do is I am hopefully going to be able to drop into their backline.
Flight plan updated. Hercules here. Go ahead. Below the hard
We're
deck.
going to stay low. Do we even have time for this? I don't think we have time yet again. I think I have been just a little bit late.
Cargo plane here.
Not even their backline. Nope. Just a little bit late. So we are flying very low, but we were too late and they did manage to pull this one out under highly unfortunate. We are going to be able to play another battle here. Looks like we're going to be playing as Russia. Or not. We can play a game here as America. Did not get to select that. Wonder what I'll be using. And we can switch to American there. Very nice. Would appear that we are currently spawning on the north side of the map. We could attempt to paradrop into the areas, and I think I am going to do that. are going to paradrap into this
Roger,
forward
we're in
area,
there.
and if this works, then we are going to be in a very good place for the
Cargo
entire
plane ready.
game. Or at the very least, as we start out in this game.
Hercules standing by.
So the airdrop shouldn't be that difficult.
Jump jet
Ah.
standing by.
This is
Cargo
going to be a
plane
very
in
painful
set
game.
mission. Going hot.
This did not work out.
Hercules copies 555.
Yeah, did not work out. This is not our game. Nope, this is a very coordinated enemy team. And the new objective is to simply survive the match, mostly unscathed. But it does look like this is going to suck as we are currently being air rushed. And right now, the goal is to prevent them from taking over our one current zone. The one zone we started out with, or that will be a very, very fast loss. So you're going to move the LAV AD in there. And it would appear that they have already moved forward and are doing so very quickly. So we're going to get a Venom with some snipers who will hopefully take over this cliffside. And that will be able to put down fire on anything that gets close. And I'm not sure if they can target helicopters.
Venom ready.
Yeah, we are going to drop the Venom, as I said, on top of that left side. Then we're also probably going to be picking up the US crew to take them back to base to get 120 additional points.
Lab ready.
And we're going to put the LAV AD into a very
Already there.
point there.
Venom here.
The Venom is going to drop down.
Flight plan update.
For retreating, and the US crews can now get under the helicopter, and we will hopefully be able to acquire some of our starting points. Only going to be 120. We're going to make the best of what we are made of,
Lab at your command, sir.
which right now is only 275 points.
High and fast.
And we can see that we are recovering from that bad start quite nicely. It would be very good to get Patriot up and running.
Already there.
Hunters of gunmen here.
Then we can go to scout snipers, which, as I said, are going to be able to create a large zone where it is dangerous to move infantry into, which should help us out a lot. And we are also going to bring in the HIMARS.
Space of fire. Venom reporting in.
And we can see that there is a Hawk in the US crew. Now, if I was playing as Russia, I would be able to use drones
Master orders, sir.
to hopefully be able to
Infiltrating.
drop bombs on them. Small bombs, CAB-50s would very easily eliminate these US crew, but I'm not currently playing as Russia, and as such, only really have these scout snipers here, which unfortunately currently do not have a line of sight. There's also a Terminator there, so I'm not going to send in a helicopter, as well as a Ka-52.
Air defense here. We're combat ready. MLRS reporting in. MLRS ready. Send fire mission.
We are going to be able to use the HIMARS to begin a bombardment against enemy
Providing
positions,
direct fire.
and where we can generally assume the enemy is, like in those buildings. also realized that there is an enemy anti-air position right there. So what are we going to do? We're going to send in a Prowler. And the Prowler should help take care of that enemy anti-air position.
Changing course. Map of
We
the
can
Earth
also tell the
flight.
Prowler to fly low there, which should help it to remain low undetected throughout a larger portion of
Roger,
its
move to
flight.
next waypoint.
And we also see a VDV truck there.
Sniper team reporting in.
It would appear that currently the snipers are not in a very good position. But we can hopefully move those forward.
Harrier ready.
It looks like the Prowler's flight was successful, and the Patriot is going to begin launching missiles at enemy aircraft. Very nice.
Rocket artillery at your command, sir.
Give me a target.
And unfortunately, it would also look like our allied Marines are under attack by Russian PvP snipers. And our Prowler was destroyed somehow. I'm not sure what.
Ready. Hunters of gunmen here.
Rocket artillery at your
We
disposal.
can also
sir.
collect our 2 HIMARS and bring those supplies as well as our Patriot.
Good copy. Next waypoint received.
And I am very displeased at how the enemy currently holds air dominance. Although I guess that should be assumed when playing against Russia, as they generally have better air-to-air power.
Moving out.
We do currently have our snipers in the forest. As we can see, the snipers are nearly invisible. There are also other infantry on the other side, which are quite loud. And unfortunately, our infantry do have a very, very low health. We're going to bring our own infantry in via helicopter.
Osprey, awaiting mission.
Everybody out.
Mission's over. We RTB.
If the V-22 Osprey can really be called a helicopter, I'm not sure. It does use large blades to take off though, so I generally feel that it isn't that now.
Breaker 1-9. Who needs supplies? Lab, reporting in. At your command, we unleash hell, sir.
We are going to bring our Patriot battery forward even more so.
Venom.
We're going to be dropping off our infantry and bringing in some more.
Lab here. We're combat ready. Moving there now. Heading there. Anti-aircraft here. Anti-aircraft here. At your command. Radar activated. Looking for airplanes.
DZ in sight. Prepare to unload.
Direct fire.
Osprey tilt
But
under
unfortunately,
aircraft
it would
here.
seem that our Venom was destroyed. But we're not going to be able to.
Anti-armor here.
Allied anti-air We can also begin to move our mechanized riflemen forward as well. Then our LAV-80 is going to make short work of that cave if we can. Or not.
Anti-tank here. Roger. Moving out.
We can see that there is an enemy helicopter.
Roger, engaging. Rocket artillery ready, sir. Direct fire engagement. Providing direct fire.
I think I'm going to begin moving our anti-air battery here in a moment.
Anti-tank team at your order. Infantry reporting in.
As I do think it has about outlet truthfulness in that spot before it is counter battery. Yep, there we go. Counter battery inbound. And I'm not sure if we're going to be killed here or not. Those are Napalm shells as well, so our vehicles are burning. And having now rapidly go down the longer way inside the shells.
Artillery on the move.
We are going to move in a Prowler to deal with that anti-air battery, as our HIMARS are going to be recovering. And hopefully resupply. And it would look like they are currently bombarding the forest as well.
Rocket artillery at
I'm
your
not
orders, sir.
entirely sure why on that one. And unfortunately, it would also look like our Prowler has been destroyed as well. This is not something I like to see at all.
Air defense here. We're combat ready.
Osprey reporting in. Roger that. I'm loading ASAP.
We're also going to be sending our US crew away on those. That was very convenient.
AT specialists in combat.
And unfortunately, it would seem that our Patriot was destroyed right as an SC-57 comes in. There is an enemy T-9, whatever a T-9 is. We can also see an enemy aircrew arriving. Unfortunately, it looks like our aircraft are dead, and we don't have any anti-aircraft there,
New heading set.
so we don't currently really have anything left to help out.
New bearing set.
But I am going to move in here
Coordinates received.
and drop
Commencing
the altitude on those aircrafts.
Going high. Flying below the radar.
And unfortunately, it would seem that it's for some reason incapable of doing this.
Time to bug out.
I think it's bad that we did spawn.
Order available, sir.
We do have the LAVM that can now begin to drop bombs there. And we are going to ultimately take the zone, because if the enemy does take over the zone, they do win the entire game.
Order ready. Transmission.
Copy. Egressing out.
Engaging targets with direct fire.
And the HIMARS is going to begin another bombardment, and I would like to get another Patriot out.
Order at your command, sir.
can see that there is in fact an S-200 there. And then we do have our Humvees with their tow teams inbound.
MLRS reporting in.
And we can now get another Patriot battery.
Moving out.
As well as beginning a HIMARS bombardment as well. And targeting enemy artillery position.
Personal carrier ready.
Anti-tank unit here, sir.
Personal carrier here. Mission's over. Heading back to FOB. Rocket artillery at your disposal, sir.
AT specialists engaged in combat.
Who wants a skylight for his house? Good copy. Fire coordinates received.
Anti-armor here. We're engaged.
Air defense at your disposal, sir.
I'm not sure why the enemy team is pulling off. Or maybe they aren't, because at this point I quite frankly cannot tell.
MLRS ready to fire.
But unfortunately our allied team is currently under
Anti-armor
attack.
at your command, sir.
We are going to move our Saber teams back a bit. But it is good that we are currently managing to hold this zone.
Pedal to the metal.
I'm now going to bring in some more support here, more soldiers. These are only standard infantry fighting soldiers,
Osprey ready.
but they are going to be somewhat decent, and unfortunately it would appear that our Patriot will destroy. I'm not sure by what though.
Osprey at your
Perhaps there was
command.
something in this forest here.
Anti-armor engaged in combat.
Osprey is mission ready. Osprey awaiting mission.
We're going to want to drop our Ospreys.
Anti-tank here.
And unfortunately it would seem like the supplies were destroyed,
Infantry here.
so we are going to have to move those back into the zone.
Establish a base of fire in that building.
The Osprey is in the air.
Mortar ready, sir.
Osprey at your command. Flying out.
We can see that there was another SC-57. SC-57s are majorly annoying.
Rocket artillery at your
They just kind
command,
of
sir.
swoop in with a dozen missiles and cause chaos, so...
That building.
But unfortunately they do still exist.
Troops in combat.
And it almost looks like the enemy did not know that our units were there, because they did just ride straight into their fire.
We're on the move.
And however, we're going to want to bring in supplies there. It looks like we did manage to capture another area, which is good.
MLRS ready. Send fire mission. Target bomb.
We are going to have our HIMARS begin to shoot a bombardment now. And unfortunately, it would look like SC-57 did just detect our HIMARS, so we are going to move them immediately after.
Rocket artillery ready, sir.
I'm not sure what just hit our tow team, but something did just hit our tow team there. I am going to want to bring in actually a Viper up there. You have the HIMARS moving across, as well as the LAV-L, which will now drop in supplies.
Sandbags, jump out.
And it would look like there is an enemy vehicle somewhere in there. And I'm also going to be calling a Prowler in. And we can see a couple B-15
Proceeding as
Kurganets.
flagged.
Those are heavy anti-vehicle units. We are going to want to move the LAV back. And drop our Prowler Salto team down as well, as the tow team is resupplied.
Infantry at your order.
Get in that building! Set up a base of fire!
Roger, we're Oscar Mike.
This is a rather unfortunate time that we're resupplying the tow teams.
Lab standing by.
Apparently it is the time that this is required.
Order ready to engage, sir.
I'm actually going to retreat the LAVMs further
Standing by.
and hopefully bring in a tank, as I'm not sure what the K-15s currently have, but they are moving toward the Allied
At your
batteries.
command.
I'm actually going to be moving these units further away, so that they're hopefully not shot. And it looks like the Prowler was shot down. But the B-15 Kurganes do not have any helicopter defenses, so a Viper would do well here.
Infantry here. Anti-tank team standing by.
And it would look like the B-15 Kurganets has destroyed an Allied tow battery. But those are going to be shooting into this Allied tow
Viper
battery.
is combat ready. Roger Wilco. Flight plan confirmed. Flying there.
And it would appear that they do have anti-helicopter weapons.
Flying to coordinates.
And that Viper is very low APK, so I am going to be forced to withdraw. And it would appear that unfortunately they are also managing to push into our Allied zone here. Not a good thing, but we do have Bradleys that are going to be capable of providing support.
Anti-tank ready for action. Let's go, boys! Light 'em up! Check that building!
And the Marines are also going to be forced to cross over,
Get in
which
that
means that they are no longer in cover, but they are very capable.
We're moving! Get your asses in that building!
MLR is ready
And
to
there is an
fire.
SC-57, and they have the Pinnacle
Already there.
as well as most likely the Patriot batteries.
Copy. Relocating. Air defense. Standing
And
by.
we can see that there is an IL-76 there.
Welcome to the Missile Age, choppers!
And it would appear that the connection is becoming a little bit choppy.
Anti-aircraft specialists ready!
I'm going to have to bring in some more supplies for the HIMARS. It would be very nice to be able to provide support right now, but unfortunately that is not currently in my abilities. Because I do not have any support. Again, however, going to be able to drop a bomb without some bombs out of a Harrier, but the Harrier is also not the most capable.
Send traffic. Over.
And the Harrier is also going to
Standing by.
immediately return as soon as it has turned out the bombs.
Everyone, dismount!
We also have the 2 Bradleys here,
Ready for action.
which can dismount submarines, but they're also going to be able to push forward. And it would also appear that the Harrier has been destroyed, unfortunately.
Get in that building.
Get out in 10 seconds! Not 10 fucking minutes!
We can also bring in some more tow teams back here.
Infantry ready for action. Roger that.
Roger. Moving to next waypoint. Someone call for a cab? Pedal to the metal. Roger. We're on the move.
Stinger team at your command, sir. We have a building to secure. Establish a base of fire in that building.
Need supplies?
Infantry reporting in. Infantry good to go.
But unfortunately, it would appear that our Bradleys have been destroyed. And that Allied forces are pushing back towards this area again. But it is currently important to hold the area and not allow it to fall into enemy hands. Because don't forget, if we lose control of all of our areas, then we will lose the entire match.
Already there.
We do have one badly damaged HIMARS,
Let's head back to base.
which can go back to base. We can also bombard these enemy forces,
Fire engagement!
which is what I'm going to do right now.
Viper awaiting mission. New heading set. Stop! Beacon up on this position!
Stinger team taking
It would appear that a helicopter just fell onto our allied units and was unfortunately destroyed.
infantry at your orders. Need a helicopter down? Troops in combat requesting orders. AT specialists at your disposal.
I am going to call in another LAV mortar,
MLRS reporting in.
and that should hopefully help us begin a bombardment of the
Engine
enemy
armored
camp.
vehicle. At your command.
I'm not currently liking being pushed by these enemy
Stinger
soldiers
team
though,
here.
especially in our last zone. We can hopefully bring in another Viper and see how that works out. But I would also like to do some soldiers. And unfortunately, it would look like this may be the end here. We are going to bring in, hopefully 2 more Bradleys, along with our rifle. And we only have an anti-air squad of soldiers currently in the zone. which we can currently begin a mortar bombardment on the enemy location.
Viper ready for combat. Maximum power.
Currently our Viper is under attack from nearly every angle,
Flying there now.
and then you have one shot.
Tiger team in combat. Take your order.
This was a very tough game, all the way from the beginning. We did butcher that attack at the beginning, which did set us back a lot. And unfortunately, this was the result. Which is to say that we did not have enough units to push an attack, and were slowly pushed back over the course of the map. As I simply did have more units in play at any one time,
Fast is out.
which is very, very unfortunate and means that we no longer really have the ability to push. And so this was a very short game because of it. We did do pretty well though, considering the start. Although I definitely do think that this could have gone better.
Mortar ready to fire.
And this is going to be our last game of the day.
Fire coordinates received. Mortar at your command, sir. Good copy. Next waypoint received. Roger. Moving out.
Then as you saw, the Bradley actually does have an active protection system.
Reporting in.
And unfortunately our helicopter was shot down.
Fire mission
And
received.
if these Bradleys cannot move any faster, then we are probably going to lose out.
Get your asses out of my vehicle.
But now we can move the mechanized rifleman in, and will not lose just yet. We are ever so very close
Fire
though.
in that building.
Halt.
And I'm starting to wish I'd saved those smoke grenades, but unfortunately I did not.
Fire. Someone after a ride? Personal carrier ready. Target acquired. Engaging.
And of course, as of right now, it would look like we are on our last minutes.
Departing.
Copy. We take that building.
We are going to move those riflemen into the building and they can take cover. And unfortunately, currently there's not too much we can do.
Infantry in combat.
Mortar ready, sir.
Alrighty, everyone. That will be the last game of the day. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Well, actually, we do have another stream tonight, which I may or may not do. I'm not sure. It is currently raining. I may have things to do. But I may do another stream tonight. So I'll see you then. Bye-bye.